Wild Africa Trek. Is that what it's called? Wild Africa Trek. And here are our guides, Katie and Daisy.
Hello.
And we are the only two on this trek, so we have our own private tour.
Woo!
I can't wait.
It'll be awesome.
The adventure's beginning.
Yes. You might talk about giraffes later. I don't know.
All right, so tell me what the story is with the shoes.
Oh, so the shoes, when you leave the Wild Africa Trek as a guide, you hang your boots to commemorate your time here.
Okay.
So you'll see some of them have names on them. This is Becky Ball, the late great Becky Ball. She's now a conservation educator in Delaware. That has the year she was here.
Yeah.
All of these people.
Yeah, it's fun. A lot of people don't notice it.
Yeah.
This is where you
It
come
just kind
check
of got
in.
started at the beginning.
They give you your own water bottle.
Yeah.
And my camera is blurry. Let me fix that real quick.
It's our house. Yeah.
Better. Okay. Sorry about that.
We're just like go off for cider and pair of boots. Yeah. Because usually by the time you're done, you're like, I don't want to He was born out. I think he's only 3 or 4. So he's not quite full size yet. He could get a little bit bigger.
Dude, like this lizard is like totally.
Freaking out.
Yeah, he's like, you're in my space, man.
This is a brown anole. Yeah, they do those little push-ups trying to find a lady friend.
See, we have the green anoles and.
Mm-hmm. We have the green ones too. Those are the ones that are supposed to be here. Those ones are invasive, actually.
See you.
Which one?
The brown ones are invasive.
Where they come from, the Caribbean or something?
Yeah, the islands in the Caribbean, Cuba, Puerto Rico, they
Yeah.
came over on boats mostly by accident because they were so small. So
I mean, he is out there
about
for
his habitat is we make it seasonal. So right now in Africa it is the wet season. So he is mostly water and then a little patch of land. And then when it turns to the dry season in Africa, it'll switch. So we'll give him mostly dry land and a little thing of water. It keeps his life a little bit interesting. But then we call enrichment anything that changes over the day. It's kind of hard to do enrichment for a frog. That much, but you know, we can change up his habitat. That's enrichment. Huh. But hammercocks can lay up to 7 eggs, and the birds will be full grown before they leave the nest. So at some point there could be 9 hammercocks in there. So it does seem to be kind of big. That nest is the lost and found of Africa aviary because the hammercocks will put anything into it that they can find. Park maps, magic bands, sunglasses, baby black crates. Because when they're born, their bodies are about this big, but their feet are almost full size and almost hysterical. But their huge feet really help them walk around in that environment. Go ahead and head to our private trail.
But then if you look over to the right, you'll see that big building. That is actually the hippo barn. We do move our hippos all around to mix up their day. It'd be really boring if Biko just stood, or not stood, swam, you know, hung out in this river all day. He would just be kind of having the same old, same old.
He's hanging out right
Yeah.
there.
And we have more hippos up ahead that hopefully we'll find. And they don't really want to stay in the same spot all day either. So we move them around. We'll move them back into the barn. One of the other males will come out into this area when Biko then goes into the barn. So we switch them around. And that is really enriching for them. It lets them mark their territory again. Let the other hippos know, hey, I am in charge of this space now. And it gives them new smells, you know, just a new environment. So they really enjoy mixing their day up a little bit. So Biko usually hangs out here till about 2 o'clock. He's very comfy right now. If you guys come on up here, we can look at the zebras because they are really close. We do have 2 mom and daughter pairs in here.
Mostly birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 mom and daughter pairs. The daughters are over a year old already, so you're probably thinking, well, they all look very big the same. So the little girls are not so little anymore. Now, do you guys know how many species of zebra there are in the whole world? So you see how big their heads are, those really massive teeth.
Hippo skull.
They actually almost have the same number of teeth that we do. Theirs are just a lot bigger. So we'll come on down. If you guys have any hippo questions, now is a great time to start thinking of them because Marisa is our resident hippo expert here. me and Daisy are on the education team, like we said earlier. So we're really lucky to be able to hang out with you guys, talk to you about the animals. But Mauricio actually works hands-on with the animals, and they do a lot of amazing work here in Animal Kingdom, just to help, you know, really work with these animals every day and make sure they're really healthy. So they do a lot of awesome work here that he can tell you guys about. So we are just gonna get your gear double checked before we get.
Hippos right here on that log. We got a father and son team actually. The hippo closest to the duck on the other side of us is Henry. He's actually dad. He's in his early 20s. And then the one closest to us is his son Hans. Henry's the dad, by the way. And yeah, Hans. Hans was actually born here in the reserve. And this is a really cool area to watch hippos from, because if you guys look across the river here to the other side, you're going to see a lot more hippos back there in that other river, that other part of the river. So that's where we keep our girls, our young hippo, and one male back there. So it's a pretty cool viewing area for hippos. Now what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to get their attention down here and see if they want some of this lettuce. Okay, let's give it a shot. Oh, got some sort of response. Yeah. Ooh. So this is something that we're training to do. We bang in the bucket 4 times, and he has to come up here a little closer and actually try to make an effort so he can get the food. Yeah. So I don't feed him until he comes a little closer to me. So we'll see who does it first. They're both trained to do it, and it's a hit and miss every now and then. They're just they're hippos. Hippos are actually nocturnal. Most of their activity happens in the evenings and at night. And during the day, this is what they prefer to do, which is nothing, just hang out and sleep. So, but we definitely got a response right there from Henry. So we'll go ahead and reward that really positive behavior, Henry. There you go, buddy. And Hans is like, yeah, I'm out. Wow. So pretty cool. Now he's one of the biggest hippos we have in the reserve. He's, you know, just under 5,000 pounds. It's pretty big. That's pretty big for a hippo. You know, usually that's when a big male tops off around 5,000. So he's a big boy, and so is Hans. Hans is right behind him as well. Oh, Hans, you're right there. Okay, I'll give you some work to me, buddy. Let's see where we are.
Wow.
There you go, buddy.
So big.
Now keep an eye on their teeth. Now you guys saw the skull back there. You saw the big teeth in the front. That's, you know, the big tusk. They're basically just overgrown incisors and canines, and hippos are herbivores. All they eat is grass. Brave. The only reason why they have them are, if you guys make a guess, is to defend themselves from other animals, other hippos, to show them off to other animals to scare them away. Like Katie was saying, hippos are very, very territorial, and that's one of the tools that they use to keep animals away or people away. You know, they open up their jaws really wide. If you see that on a path in Africa, you kind of want to go the other way. So yeah, they don't really need to chase you or anything. They just open up their mouth and you're like, yeah, I'm good. I'm out of here. But you know, they are very territorial. They absolutely are deadly to humans or other animals. I mean, if they get a hold of you, it's not going to end well for you. But they're also very gentle animals. I mean, you see these ducks kind of eating all this leftover lettuce around them. They're not going after the ducks because there's no reason to. There's no competition for anything. You know? So there's absolutely a bunch of other animals that live around hippos, and they all live in peace and harmony, basically. All right, got that one for you, bud. No.
They do have very sensitive hearing. In fact, the one's underwater right now.
Now, feel free to ask me anything, guys. Anything you guys want to talk about. We can talk about
Hungry
training,
hippos.
how we take care of them here, how their day is. So, you know, I'll open it up to you guys if you guys want to discuss anything. So.
Is that atypical for like a father and son to, like in a wild?
Great question. Not necessarily. Typically, you have a dominant male, and he has a bunch of females all around him, and he's the one in charge. It's up to him to allow any other males to live around him. Typically, they don't, because he doesn't want another male to breed with his girls. Yeah. But here, you know, there's obviously not a female in here with him. If there was, that would be an issue. And ever since Hans was young, he's been with Dad, and Henry tolerates him. Henry just is like, yeah, you're cool, you can hang out with me. You know, and it doesn't happen very often that you have 2 males with him. That's, you know, 2 adult males with him.
Is it because like the territorial aspect of it is taken out of the mix as they live here.
Well, no, they still. Henry is dominant. There's always going to be one dominant one. Henry's still in charge. He's the boss. He tolerates Hans. Hans
Brave duck.
submits to him. That's the most important thing. That Hans still submits to him. But if Hans all of a sudden was like, all right, I want to take over. I want to mark my territory. I'm going to do everything here, not Dad. That might be an issue. That might be a fight for that dominance. So we watch these boys carefully, especially every now and then they'll get into little scuffles, and we definitely have to keep an eye on them, especially as they get older. Temperaments change, and stuff happens when you get older. So.
Can I grab a picture of you two with the hippos in the back?
That's how you guys
Yeah. Going over the first bridge. It is actually pretty sturdy. It's not, the boards are very firm. Like, I'm not worried about anything. We're actually walking over the tour buses, as you can see. It's wobbly, so if you're ever going like zip lining and you have to cross over one of those bridges, this is kind of very similar to that. If you're afraid of heights, it might be an issue. But it truly is pretty amazing being up here. Great views. Look at me, I am on the second bridge now. This came from that one. There's the hub just getting off the first bridge. Getting kind of toasty. All I want to do is jump in this water, I'll be honest with you. A lot of glare in the sun. So I'm walking along the bridge and I see this guy directly underneath me. Look at that! He is huge! There are a few more that way. See him? Wow. These are Nile crocodiles. Oh, I didn't even see that one right there. Wow. Oh my god, and there's one right here in the shadow. There's 4 of them. Holy crap. Okay, one over here. One here. There. Wow, they're everywhere. These guys are humongous.
They are also with the American crocodile, one of the other freshwater species of crocodile. We do have one species of crocodile that does live in the marine areas. It's a saltwater crocodile. George, you could guess at where that might live?
Here or Mississippi?
Good guess. Actually, Australia.
Ah.
Yeah.
Now on the safari in our own private truck. Now, are the Baobab trees real or are they concrete or?
They're really there.
Ah.
We call them a concrete example. Now, the real baobab tree in Africa is actually a very endangered species, so we wouldn't want to uproot that and try to bring it to Florida. It wouldn't probably survive here.
Got
They
it.
actually have a limit of 1 day a year it can freeze, and any more than that, and baobab trees will die. So we made our own. If you look over to the driver's side, though, we're gonna get a pretty decent view of some painted dogs. Oh, one of them so big! What a treat! These guys are often mistaken for hyenas, but they are a completely separate animal. They are in the canid family, but not particularly closely related to domesticated dogs, even though they kind of look like it. And these guys are the most efficient predator in Africa. So they catch their prey about 80 or 90% of the time. So they are very good hunters. They're very cooperative. So the dogs kind of have a plan for their hunt versus lions, which are kind of like, oh, wildebeest, everybody go for it. And usually it gets away. I do see some sable antelope in the back, the symbol of our reserve. And then we're gonna get them up on a bunch of giraffes. Right now we have a herd of 14 giraffes. In the past year and a bit, we've had 5 babies. So we have had a bit of a baby boom, which is fantastic. These baby giraffes are adorable. Oh, this is my favorite giraffe. This is Wyatt. He is a male who was born here a little under 3 years ago. So he's not full size yet.
I think I remember seeing him when he was a baby.
Yeah. Oh, me too. I miss baby Wyatt.
I know. Oh yeah, he is my favorite.
He's a huge favorite. He's very personable.
Oh, it's puppy.
Like, that is cinnamon flavored. That's their absolute favorite. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
So that guy in the back, that's George. He's a bull.
This
He is approved to breed with all of our adult females.
this video is about to turn red on.
Yeah. So he just tasted the urine of that female, and he is moving it onto an organ in his inner lip that tells him whether she is ready to have a baby or not. That's how male giraffes can tell when they should go on a date. Doesn't seem
There's
lovely to us.
a big joke there.
George came here when he was not even 3 years old, I guess. And he's only 5 now, so he's not very old. Oh, he knows he's not supposed to do that. Oh, Dad. George. They're not supposed to stick their heads in the truck. This poor keeper's getting sloppy.
Well, I don't think he's thinking right now anyway.
Oh, she's not gonna put the food up because he's bad. She says, no, you know you're not supposed to. Well, there we go. Did you get very excited? I'm not sure I'd want a giraffe face that close to my face. Giraffes are very drooly, like very large ropes of drool.
I noticed
come
that,
out of
and
their
I was
mouth.
like,
yes, lovely.
So when I was a kid, we went on a safari at Great American Adventure, or the Six Flags Safari that's up there somewhere. I don't know, as a kid, I can't exactly remember the name of it, but a giraffe stuck their head in our car.
Oh, wow.
It was like one of those where you drive through it.
If they've been fed from them, they're quick learners. They will stick their faces anywhere they think there might be food. And then they're gonna come back. They're like, "Sorry." But you can see when he put his head near her how big their heads are. I mean,
Oh yeah.
enormous. Their heads are a couple of feet long. We get kind of a weird perspective up on the truck, but things are a lot bigger than they look from up here. George is probably 2,000 pounds now. He's a big guy. And he's not full grown. You can get a couple more feet on him.
I just want a picture really quick with him. Well, he's not like, you know.
Actually, you guys might want to just sit on this side because we're gonna drive and there's a bunch of babies, so it's so pretty on us. This might be a better side for the next little portion. We're all here, Renee. Close to these babies. On any given day, who knows how many giraffes are out? Because we open up the barn in the morning and we basically say, do you want to spend the day outside? And they can say no. They can be like, nah, I'm going to stay back here today.
So do they have like open range between this and the Animal Kingdom Lodge?
No, that's actually a completely separate facility. Yeah, they have their own set of 4 savannas and their own herd of giraffe, their own barn, their own keeper, all of that.
now how many acres?
This section right here is 34 acres. The safari in total is 110 acres. It's actually
wow.
larger than the Magic Kingdom. The little ones are still like, how does solid food work? How do I do this? The oldest 2 are weaned. The youngest 3 are a mix of solid food and milk still.
Maybe sheep or
Why it's like, oh, these we can store one day.
have their legs splayed and
What's the
trying to
baby's
eat
name?
off.
This baby, can you tell which baby this is? I feel like it's either Isla or Amira.
I think it
What?
is a mirror.
Oh, cute.
Isla and Amira are almost identical. the oldest two girls. She's so cute. They're born 5.5, 6 feet tall. Moms are pregnant for about 14 to 16 months. One of our babies this time was the first baby ever born out here. Because usually they go on kind of like maternity leave a week or two before their due date. We'll keep them in the barn just so they have somewhere more secluded to give birth. Nope, middle of the day she gave birth right in the road, which very strange.
Oh, wow.
Most animals give birth overnight because it's safer. Middle of the day, middle of the road.
Would have been. Oh,
Thank you.
Alright, so we've reached the like platform section where we're about to grab some snacks from. Where did you say the food was from? I think she said it was from Tiffins. But we have this amazing view overlooking everything. This tour has been amazing. I recommend it. It is a little bit expensive. It's $180 a person for adults. And you have to be at least 8 years old to do this tour. And I have to say, it's been worth every penny so far. There are a couple of things about the tour. You have to have, if you can't bring your camera or phone, it has to have a strap. I actually bought one preparing for this. However, they do provide one for you if you don't have one, so don't worry about that. You have to wear closed-toed shoes. They give you water bottles, these little silver water bottles that actually are branded for African Wild Track that you get to keep. And those are right here. That's what they look like. And you get a name tag. They do provide sunscreen, insect repellent, all your needs are met. I just can't believe how amazing this is. So this is definitely one of the advantages of coming to Walt Disney World without children. Adults only. You're preparing your table. We're getting the juice. Yes.
Yes, the good kind.
The jungle juice.
Yeah.
We love it.
Passion fruit, orange, guava. Drink away. Like if you drink this whole one, we'll bring more out. Unlimited.
I always feel bad about asking for more.
Oh, don't feel bad. We got it all up here for you guys.
Yeah.
If you want to put it in your water bottles, you can. Be layers to your African-inspired breakfast.
So cute.
Like an orchid.
I'm opening mine up.
And the orchid is edible.
All right, I'm eating an orchid today.
Ta-da! Yeah, so you have an edible dendrobium orchid. Even this stem is edible, so you can use it as a palate cleanser if you want. You can just give it a try, whatever you're feeling, if you're feeling adventurous. There's also a bamboo spoon in there for you guys. Let us know if you need more because it's really good.
Yeah,
and you get it all to yourself.
Cool, thank you very
enjoy,
much.
guys.
Do you guys want a picture at your table before you dig in?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Here we go. Yes. Hold up the juice. Pretend you're drinking the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Us even see them out. And then yeah, this water bug over here is a Shaggy Antelope. They do have noses that are shaped like hearts, so hopefully she'll turn her head. You'll be able to see her nose. Their backside also looks like they sat in a can of paint because they have that white ring around their back. Water bugs do dive in the water to avoid predators. They also have really oily skin, so they have like a really bad odor. But for them, it's good. The smellier the water bug, the more attractive of a mate it is. So they definitely will want that, pretty bad odor, which is just kind of funny.
So where do they go to get to like the other area of their habitat?
Yeah, so this is basically what you see is their habitat, and their barn is behind the rocks. So you can see those tall rocks on the left.
Yeah.
Right behind it is where their barn is. They have like a walkway where they can go in and out. And then out here is the space they have. you can see the rocks closest to us have a dry moat around with the rocks they're on. So that is their separation. It also goes down, and then the rocks close to us go up and really forms that wall. They can't physically climb down and then like climb up 90 degrees. They can't do that. It also is a really large gap. They can't jump that far. It looks closer than it is because Disney's really good at that. When they build everything, you know, it has that first perspective. It looks a lot closer than it is. The animals don't look quite as big as they are from our angle. But really, you know, these animals are huge. The lions are big, and they use them for the CGI versions, especially our lions. But now they have, up at Rafiki's Planet Watch, if you go there, they have the new animation experience, and I think they have a little video talking about our lions, just a little introduction. And they also have news articles and blog posts all over the internet talking about our lions. So they're basically like little celebrities now, which is really cool. But yes, they do look very majestic. Oh my goodness, especially his beautiful mane. So they have white lines under their eyes, and that helps them see really well at night. So like we talked about earlier, they are nocturnal. They're most active at dawn and dusk, basically when it's dark. So that's a type of nocturnal called crepuscular. So when it is dark is when they can see the best. And that is when they're going to do all their hunting. The male will be the one to stay back and protect the pride, because he's going to use that big mane to defend himself. And the females are going to go do all the hunting. So a typical lion group would be one male, lots of females. They'll bring that food back to the male, but he's really going to make sure nothing happens to the family, really watching the cubs, because if another male lion tried to take over, he would want to take out all the lions to then start his bloodline. He'd be like, I want to be in charge. So it's pretty intense. He has to have that thick mane to defend themselves. And the girls take that very seriously. So if a male lion does not have a big mane, they will not really respect him. They can also sense who is in charge. The male lions can sense if there's another one already in charge of a pride, you know, already has this beautiful, majestic mane. And if another male lion, you know, came to hang out, he wouldn't really grow in a mane because he would sense that he wasn't the one in charge. So that's why we don't have two males here. If we brought another male, he wouldn't really have a mane. He'd just have little patches of hair because Dakari has been here for over 5 years. And
How do they control that?
What was that?
How do they control that?
Just the hormones. Yeah. But yeah, he would say, oh, well, Dakari's already in charge, you know, and this is new guy. He would just have little patches of hair, not really a mane, and then the girls wouldn't like him at all.
Making fun of them behind the rocks.
It does put them in a better position to take over the pride if the current male
true.
dies or gets ousted. So it is actually a little bit advantageous to kind of hang around sneakily.
Sounds like sneaky.
Serves a purpose.
Have you guys seen the new Lion King movie yet?